I guess I'm talking away and did not realize that the first part of my show did not get started. But welcome to Cruising with a Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. I was giving my spiel there, and of course, I did not realize that my microphone was muted. Welcome to the show, folks. I am David Annakie, broadcaster and CEO of the Link Up Media Group of Companies. We're here today. We're going to be talking immigration. I do believe, or maybe the case handler will be joining us, but once again, the show is brought to you by the law firm of Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. We will be answering your immigration questions this morning. If you'd like to have your immigration questions answered, it's now time to give us a call once again here at 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. This is a show that comes your way each and every single weekday at 9:30 a.m. And it's where the attorneys get on the show and they answer questions that you may have. I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico is at 225 Broadway. And that's, of course, in New York City. Make sure you check them out. If you have immigration issues and or problems, I've always said, you don't want to do it yourself. Just do not want to do it yourself. And in all the years that I've been actually doing this immigration radio talk show, thousands of people have reached out to me, and I never answered the question whether or not I had the knowledge to or not. Why? I just honestly believe that attorneys should be the one that answer your questions. That's what we have done, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, make sure to reach out to it. Once again, make sure you reach out to my friends over at PPID and get your immigration questions answered. Personal injury. Now, there's a lot of personal injury attorneys floating around. If you drive on the highway, you'll see the billboards. If you listen to the radio stations, you'll hear the attorneys. If you watch the television, you'll see everyone coming on and talking about personal injury. Now, why that every attorney out there is professing to be the ultimate when it comes, or the best, they should not do, when it comes to personal injury? Personal injury is a capacity where everyone knows that people will get hurt. There are going to be automobile accidents. There are going to be slip and falls. There are going to be construction accidents. And guess what? It is going to be someone's fault. It will be. It will be someone's fault. So if and when it's someone's fault, then what? You know? So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you, go with someone that you actually know is truly the best. Okay? Go with someone that you know can really, ladies and gentlemen, get the job done. And we're talking about someone like Adam Handler. Adam Handler, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be one of the most knowledgeable, experienced attorney in the business. I have actually seen him come up through the ranks. I've seen him grown into a powerful personal injury attorney. On this station, 93.5 FM, he has settled well over $130 million for his clients. Yes, over $130 million for his clients. So if you're out there and you get hurt in an accident, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters at the top of the hour? No. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters on the billboards? No. Who are you going to call? The Ghostbusters on television? No. You're going to call the case handler. You're going to call someone that you have heard talk with clients, true success stories on this station, 93.5 FM. People who have come on and said, yes, the case handler settled hundreds of thousands of dollars for me, millions of dollars for me. Regardless of your immigration status, he has proven himself. And ladies and gentlemen, I 100% endorse Adam Handler, the case handler. 100% hands down. He did not have to become a client of mine on the radio for me to endorse him. Even when he was not physically a client on my radio program and was on other radio programs, I referred people to him. Why? He's the best. You can't say it because attorneys are not allowed to say they're the best, but I can, you as an individual who have used Adam Handler, the case handler, the man who settles cases for people who have been in accidents, you can say he's the best. Speak the truth about him. And one thing I love about the guy is very honest, very straightforward. And that's the kind of attorney that you want to have working for you. Yes, they do work for you. So do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a call, Adam Handler. His number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Every one of you tuning into this radio program, this radio station, every one of you watching me on Facebook, you deserve to have the ultimate attorney, an exceptional attorney when it comes to, of course, representing you. God forbid you get into an automobile accident. God forbid there is medical malpractice. God forbid there's a construction accident. You know, throughout my life, a lot of people have said, hey, Squeeze, man, you just love money. Is that a bad thing? I want to ask you that. Is that a bad thing? Is it a bad thing to love money? See, it all depends on how you define love connotating to money. You understand what I'm saying? It all depends on that. Because I'm saying to you, tuning into me right now on this station, okay? Sorry about the phone's ringing, okay? Let's say you get hurt in an accident and your leg got destroyed, right? If you don't have an exceptional attorney working for you like Adam Handler, and you get just some guy that's an ambulance chaser, okay, that slips you a card when you're getting thrown in the ambulance, and when you wake up after surgery, you found out that your leg, and we're speaking hypothetically here, all right, you found out that your leg is pretty much destroyed. Now, if you take that card from that ambulance chaser, some other attorney, and you get a settlement for $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, is that enough to actually appease you throughout your life? No. No matter how much money you get, it will not truly 100% appease you. But the more money you get, you'll be in a better position. You will have better mobilization. You'll have a better life than if you did not have the money. So if you're telling me loving money is a bad thing, I tell you what, I'll stick with the bad thing. Because if I ever get hurt, I want to have the top attorney handling my case. I want to have the top attorney that's going to go for as much money as he or she can get for me. And that's what Adam Handler is all about, folks. That's the reason why I get on this radio station and I speak about it. All right? Yes, there's a commercial side of everything that we do. There's a business side. But I want you as an immigrant, I want you listening to this radio station to understand that you need to have the right man fighting for you, the man who is going to go for the juggler. If there's any time that I want an attorney to fight for me, it's that. Extremely hard. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake. When it comes to accidents, go with Adam Handler. Don't play around. All right? Everybody's out there looking on the commercial side of it. I am looking on the commercial side, but I'm also looking on what the compensations will be. How much can they get for me? Have they proven themselves? And on this station, there's one thing that no one can take back from Adam Handler. And that is the fact that he's the longest running attorney on the station consistently. He's the most celebrated personal injury attorney on the station. And that's the reason why I say to you, go with him. Everyone tuning in right now, do yourself a favor. Store his number. His number, once again, is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Once again, if you're tuning into the show on Facebook or you are listening on 93.5 FM, I am David Squeeze Annakie. I've been doing radio since 1996, showing my age. And I will say to you, any accidents you have, don't take chances, because you are taking a chance if you're not hiring Adam Handler. Call him, ladies and gentlemen. His number is 844-774-3529. He's a partner at the powerful firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. at 225 Broadway in New York City on the 3rd floor. No need to go above that. Okay. The 3rd floor with offices once again in Peekskill and yes, in Brooklyn. Call them today. Get yourself a consultation. 844-774-3529. And do remember, whenever you hire a personal injury attorney, there's no money coming out of your pocket to hire them. Absolutely $0. So that's the reason why. Go for the ultimate attorney. Go for the exceptional attorney. Go for the shark. Go for the beast. Go for the hot stepper. Go for Adam Handler. Go for the case handler by calling 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you reach out to him. His name is Adam Handler, ladies and gentlemen, and he's definitely here to help out each and everyone out there. Once again, call Adam Handler, 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Don't, ladies and gentlemen, don't go with another attorney. Go with Adam Handler. Once again, I tell you what, that time for me to actually make way for some bills to be paid right here. We're going to go pay the bills when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. Continue speaking about the firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Once again, 844-774-3529. 844-774-3529.
This product is a tool your body uses to heal itself. It is not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease.
Floyd, how you doing?
Yeah, my youth. Respect that every time.
So I understand from someone over at BioLife, and they gave me your number to just link with you, that you use the BioLife products, the premium BioLife products. We have to say premium BioLife. BioLife Plus.
Definitely.
I use a cleanse to detox my body and do a complete colon cleanse because, brethren, seriously, my dad died from stomach cancer.
Yeah.
So I seriously do not want to die from colon cancer. All right. I do not want to die from any kind of stomach cancer. So I make sure that I put the fiber in my body every single day, and that is BioCleanse. It's something. Seems like the attorneys decided to join me after all. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're in tune to, of course, Cruising with a Case Handler. Nelson Madrid, how you doing, man?
Good morning. I apologize, actually. I think there was some sort of confusion. I was actually preparing for a seminar we are scheduled to give at noon. So again, there was obviously some miscommunication.
Yeah, I saw that.
I am doing good. How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine, man. I did like 17 minutes of the show here, 15 minutes or so of the show, which is great. I was speaking about you guys and how great you guys are and why people should actually choose, PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Why don't we just tell folks, I spoke a lot about Adam Handler, who appears, or it seems to be on a plane watching this show right now, Don't know where he's headed, but, he's one of our top, of course, personal injury attorneys at the firm PPID, along with Matt Goodstein, his associate. So want to say much respect to him and wherever he is heading, hopefully it's somewhere warm. Remember, folks, get into an accident, you need him. 844-774-3529. He's at the firm PPID. So Nelson, why don't we reiterate and tell folks about the immigration side of the business and what it is that you do?
Sure. We do all facets of immigration law. We do non-immigrant visas. We do immigrant visas. We do family-based adjustment of status. We do VAWA. We do U visas. We represent people in removal proceedings. We do the whole gamut. Again, we do immigration law, all facets of immigration law.
And the area that you are the top gun in, as Adam always says, is the area where people are put in removal proceeding, and you've built a name for yourself around that. I mean, that's not all you do. You do every part of the whole immigration gamut, but you seem to have developed a solid experience and deep experience with helping people who have been put in removal proceedings and people who have been arrested and seeking immigration benefit. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So while anyone in the United States in violation of immigration law is vulnerable to being placed into removal proceedings, some of the most common ways that people are placed into removal proceedings are picking up a person from jail or prison after an arrest or after the individual has completed his or her sentence. Okay. Sometimes people are on, are arrested, again, before this is something that is no longer legal, but before, officers would show up at court and arrest you, wait for you to leave the court, and as you're leaving the court, arrest you. But that was a common way. Another common way is picking up a person while they're on probation. I've seen people get picked up on the first day of probation. I've seen people get picked up on their last day of probation. This is something that's not black and white. A lot of people say, well, why was he picked up? It was the last day of probation. He served his sentence. Many times, people forget immigration law is federal, criminal, at least a lot of criminal law is state related. It's two separate people. So yes, while you could have served your sentence or while you may have served no jail sentence, anytime you're on probation, immigration can step in. Another way is when someone has unsuccessfully applied for some sort of immigration benefit. For example, you filed an application for adjustment of status, or you tried to naturalize. Something I tell people is, you're putting yourself on the radar, right? You're letting immigration know, hey, I'm here illegally.
I'm out here, yeah.
And again, if your case is denied, that's typically what happens. Workplace raids used to be very common back in the day. It's not something that's happening often anymore, but it's something that used to happen quite frequently many years ago. Arresting a person at or near a border point after that person has entered. That's how you get put into removal proceedings. Also, a common way, and a lot of people take this for granted, but probably one of the most common ways, and we've spoken about this on the show before, is a person returning to the US from a trip abroad, right? The person has suffered no consequences here. They leave the United States. Now they're trying to return. Their green card is swiped, a red flag is raised, they're placed into secondary inspection, or they're given deferred inspection. And now all of a sudden it triggers them being placed into removal proceedings.
Right. And sometimes even an individual with a green card coming back, they may have traveled multiple times before and was never put into a secondary inspection. And then all of a sudden they're put into secondary inspection and they're wondering why, and they're flipping out.
That's right. And actually, that's a very, very good point. Many times I speak with people and I recommend they not travel. And of course, the people look at me like I have two heads, right? Well, I've traveled 3 or 4 times before and never had an issue. That doesn't mean you can't or won't have an issue if you try to travel again. That simply means that the person who actually inspected you was likely not paying attention, was likely not focused on what he was doing and let you in. But, you are inadmissible. And if you leave and you return, you're basically rolling the dice and you can be put into removal proceedings.
There you go. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Nelson Madrid. He's one of the partners at the firm Pollack, Isaac, and Seco. And we want to say to individuals out there seeking immigration help, advice, and knowledge, make sure you hire the firm. Don't try to do your immigration case yourself. You don't want to do that because immigration is a minefield. As we see our managing partner of the firm, Pollack, Isaac, and Seco appear, just like Mr. Nelson Madrid, who appeared, okay, as they left me to row the boat all by myself for about 15 minutes. But that's okay. Not complaining, 844-774-3529, 844-PPID-LAW happens to be the number for the firm. Once again, if you're listening to 93.5 FM, there is no need for you to seek another law firm. We hear a lot of people buzzing here and there and all of that. This firm has proven themselves for over 60 years. So you don't have to go screaming. You don't have to go yelling. All you got to do is simply calmly call 844-PPID-LAW. Pollack, Isaac, and Seco. Thank you so much, Nelson, for that and expounding on that. Mr. Conrad Pollack, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I got a frantic phone call sitting in traffic, and I got a frantic phone call from our marketing director saying, please, Squeeze is drowning. You need to help him. You need to rescue him. So I pulled off to the side of the road, and I set up my iPad, and here I am. To the rescue. Nelson and I both to the rescue with the lifeboats.
Thank you both for showing up for your...
Well, David, I also feel that Conrad wouldn't let this opportunity pass him by where he could obviously speak all he wants without having any interruptions, as he's often said.
Without the case handler chewing up all the airtime, right?
So, well, I didn't say that. Conrad did. Never one to mince words, but I'm glad that he was able to join us, and we're glad to be on the show.
All right. Now, we got about 7 minutes before we get to the top of the hour. And folks, just having a little bit of an inside laugh here with the attorneys. I guess there was a little bit of a small confusion. I know you guys work. And that's the great thing about these attorneys. They're practicing attorneys. So they're always working. Even when they're actually on the show, they're actually at their desk working while they're answering immigration questions, while they're talking about personal injury. And the superstar of the show evidently decided to take off today, Mr. Adam Handler, and here we are. So anything you want to speak on, Mr. San Francisco, anything you want to talk about?
Well, we could talk about that. I mean, I don't know how many American football fans there are out there, but yes, I am a San Francisco 49ers faithful fan. And we lost our defensive coordinator. Unfortunately, he is now going to be the head coach of the New York Jets, Robert Saleh. So big shout out to Robert Saleh. He's been a great defensive coordinator for the 49ers, and I'm sure he's going to be a really good head coach for the Jets. And God knows, man, they need it. The Jets they have to be the worst organization in football, and hopefully he'll turn that around. So yeah, good hire. Big loss for San Francisco, but
so be it. We will
Jets. So hey, maybe the Jets will be competitive now going forward. You never know.
Right.
You never know.
Want to say on the immigration side?
Immigration? I thought we were talking football.
Anything at all?
As I've been saying the last couple of days, normally, if for the last 9 months since we've been on the air, what is it, 10 months now, since middle of March when the pandemic hit, a day rarely passed. A week never passed without some blockbuster immigration news coming down 99.9% of the time negatively. The only good news we were getting was with regard to court actions stopping negative, disastrous Trump immigration policies from taking place. But because our soon-to-be departed leader has been sort of preoccupied the last couple of weeks. He hasn't really had a lot of time to focus on immigration and doing further damage to the immigration system or other. He's got other areas to damage, I guess, at the moment. But there is, I mean, yes, there have been a couple of things that have been happening in the news. Some rules, like there's a Labor Department regulation that's just republished, which substantially makes it more difficult for employers to sponsor workers for green cards and for temporary visas. I'm not going to get into the specifics here because I would eat up the rest of the time we have. But that's the latest that they've done, which I'm sure there'll be a lawsuit filed today, if not Monday, stopping it. And then the Biden administration hopefully will just let it fade away. Other things, look, Joe Biden's taking over as of next Wednesday. He's being inaugurated on a Wednesday, and that is a game changer as far as the immigration system is concerned. There'll be a lot of good things happening with regard to the immigration system. And as I've been saying, you know, as opposed to the do not enter sign that's been up on the United States doorway for the last 4 or 5 years, now the welcome mat is being put out there again, welcoming immigrants to the United States, recognizing the contributions that they make, seeing that they're a valuable part of our populace. And I think people are going to pretty quickly recognize the sea change in attitude towards immigrants and immigration in general. It's good stuff. You know, it's been tough. The last 4 years, you know, the Trump administration terrorizing immigrant communities. Nelson, you remember, we have our office back up in Peekskill. Peekskill is a small town. Back in 17 or 18, I don't know, ICE all of a sudden is roaming around Peekskill, you know, just randomly looking to grab people that they suspect to be illegal and just lock them up and then send them back to their countries. You know, that kind of stuff is not going to happen anymore, you know, which is great news. I mean, come on, we've all heard about immigrant communities over the last several years being terrorized by ICE, you know, showing up in the middle of the night to take the sole breadwinner of the family away, things like that. I'm sorry, Nelson, you were going to say?
Yeah, actually, there is some good news, and I think it's basically a shift in the tide. A federal court judge has temporarily blocked a Trump rule that would create insurmountable obstacles for people applying for asylum in the United States. That rule was scheduled to go into effect today. Okay, and basically, a District of Columbia judge granted a temporary restraining order on that rule going forward. You know, obviously, this will be in litigation once Biden takes over. And this is, again, as Conrad was saying, you know, this is just an example of the things, you know, of the climate and the things that were taking place under this administration.
Well, those days are thankfully coming to an end, and hopefully we won't see them again anytime soon. Again, it's nice to see that welcome mat is being put out there again, because immigrants really do contribute to our society. They make things better. You know, there are all kinds of studies, and pretty much anyone can find whatever study they want to back up their own theories on the subject. But the fact is, you know, immigrants contribute a lot more in terms of dollars and in terms of societal positives than they take away, and that's just a fact. And you know, again, I couldn't be happier and more optimistic for the future with regards to immigration. You know, it's always, they say, old saying, it's always darkest before the dawn, and that's the truth. And we are now seeing the dawn of a new age, and the Trump administration will fade away in ignominy, tongue twister, ignominy. They will fade away to the dustbin of history in tatters, and it's great. I mean, the Trump administration, and he's basically just destroyed whatever legacy he might have had otherwise. I mean, these last couple of weeks, you know, goes without saying. So hopefully the Senate will pass a resolution not allowing him to run for office again in 24, because again, that's not something this country needs. Certainly not something the immigration community needs.
Definitely, we do not need that with everything that's going on. And you know, I've never dreamt that the country would be where it is today. With everything, we have our underlying issues, but I mean, this man has really trumped up a lot more issues. But with that,
the one skill that he has, that he's good at, is finding those fault lines and appealing to people's basest instincts.
Right.
People always have, you can't know what someone's thinking. People have thoughts, people have base thoughts, and you can have your own theories about what people deep down are really like. But the fact is, Trump, the one skill that he has, he knows how to get in there, find those fault lines and appeal to people's worst instincts and bring them to the surface. And that's what he's done. And that's why we have, what's going on right now in Washington. It looks like an armed camp, that these right-wing extremists and white supremacists, he's made it okay. He's made it okay for these people to stick their heads out of the sand, and hopefully once he's gone, hopefully with the Biden administration, hopefully with the FBI and the government coming down on these lunatics and these insurrectionists, hopefully they'll go back to being buried, and we won't see them again for hopefully never.
Well, it was really divide and conquer, and I think that's what's happened. The country, in my lifetime, I've never seen the country so divided.
None of us have. None of us have, unless you're Alan Kay and you were around for when the Civil War ended.
Yeah, no, unbelievable. All right, but anyway, folks, I want to say thanks for each and every one for joining us. Are we doing a show on Monday at 9:30 a.m., gentlemen?
Well, that's a question for you, Squeeze. You tell us.
We actually, Squeeze, they texted you this morning, and surprisingly, you never responded.
I saw the text this morning, but I thought Adam was not going to be on the show. So I said, okay, Conrad and Nelson will be on the show. So that's the reason why, I said, okay, show is on. Let's rock and roll. So maybe I got it confused. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries.
We're good to go on Monday if you are.
Yeah, I'm good to go, man.
It is a national holiday, but I'm prepared. I'm sure Nelson is ready.
I'm actually working on Monday, so I'll be at the office.
As am I.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Although I get in a lot earlier than Conrad, I just want to put out there. I don't work half days. I work full days.
Yeah, it's funny. I love the way Nelson turns a negative into a positive. The fact is, his wife typically kicks him out of the house the night before the office. That's why he's there early.
But as you can see, my attorneys here have a sense of humor, and but don't let that sense of humor fool you. Powerful attorneys they are. Two of the partners at the firm, and we're speaking on immigration. And do remember, people, just store the number. You may not need it right this second, but you will need it in the future for some legal help that you may need. And their numbers happens to be 844-774-3529. Nelson Madrid, the Maverick, thank you. Conrad Pollack, the architect, the maestro, thank you for jumping on the show today. Looking forward to speaking with you guys again on Monday. However, we'll have repeat shows come tomorrow, Saturday, and also on Sunday. Thank you all. Ladies and gentlemen, hire the firm, retain the firm. Get yourself that discounted consultation, 844-PPID-LAW. And we've got something very special coming on February the 5th. For everyone out there, you'll be able to participate. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are definitely turning up 2021. Thank you, attorneys. We'll talk soon. Okay.